Welcome back in, everybody, after that. A little bit of a longer break than we're used to, but getting now into the second series, it is going to be one move coming up against VP. Harry, thoughts coming into this series? Because we looked yesterday, we watched one move, looks really impressive, and it was a different team in that second match. What did he bring into today's game, into this series?
There were a series each, or at least series for VP and a game for one move where they looked impressive. So the game yesterday against Bedboom in the second game, one move looked pretty solid. And, the other game that one move won was against Spirit, but I would rather say that Team Spirit looked bad in that game rather than one move looking particularly good. For Virtus.pro, they looked decent in some of their series, but they looked amazing against Darkside, right? So it is a tough call to stay here. I think overall Virtus.pro should be coming in as a slight favorite, but I wouldn't write off one move completely.
Okay, well, I mean, it's going to be standard bans, the Death Prophet being taken out. Ricky and Lina are still there, so Virtus.pro just goes straight for that Lina pick.
Yep. Maybe one move they get a Ricky now. Wouldn't be too surprised with it. Maybe you go for Ricky plus something that can shove in the lanes. I think that would be a smart approach, though. Other thing, want to touch upon the two games that one move have won. Both of the times they picked the Timber Saw in the first phase for Afterlife. So I'm thinking mobile aggressive hero on Aincrad, so Pango or Ember. I think he has been looking the best on those. And like a Timber or a Timber-like hero on Afterlife. A tanky guy that if you ignore, at least your towers are going to be dropping. That's how I feel is the best what this team has to offer. And then you get the main playmaker on Gilgear, and then it's Gilgear and Aincrad that are making moves. So, okay, one move. So they go for the Nature's Prophet. They're going to be going for the let's shove in the waves. I'm okay with that. I think it has been the right approach against the Lina in most of the games that we have seen.
Yeah, the series that we just watched, the Nature's Prophet looking really good against the Lina.
Yep.
Up until a point. Let's say up until a point. There was a point where Bedboom in that last series just turned it on, and he really couldn't do anything on the Nature's Prophet. But one move, I really like this coming out. The Nature's Prophet being able to just the hypermobility when the TP's there, being able to get to any ganks that go on the Lina, and then the clockwork coming in that level 6, the hookshot. That is one of the major issues about the Lina, is actually getting to with the amazing attack range for the Lina, actually getting close to the Lina while she just sits and she just throws right click after right click after right click at you. But something with a clockwork with a hook shot that can just instantly close that gap, get right on top of the Lina. There's no time for those right clicks to come out. So I do like the clockwork as a counter to initiate onto the Lina.
The response to the Lina was really good. But also Ember response to these two is amazing because he matches the potential of the Nature's Prophet to split push, and it's not easy to kill him with just the clockwork. So you're going to be needing something else. Something that does come to mind is the Gilgear techies. And I think that's something that Virtus.pro are going to be looking to get rid of, because if you have a clockwork plus a very high burst damage hero like the techies, it's a problem for both the Ember and the Lina. Lina could get bursted down before she pops a BKB. Ember could be silenced before he gets a Remnant out, and then he can be caught. Plus, you would have two supports, which effectively could set up for a kill onto the Ember with the help of the Nature's Prophet. But either way, I think that's what one move are missing. They're missing that playmaking, but also damage-dealing heroes. So, Hoodwinks, the techies, those are the types of heroes I think one move are going to be needing on Gilgear.
Yeah, and we can see, again, the Ricky is still there. Both teams just ignoring it for the minute. I would have thought that maybe, Virtus.pro could still go back for it if they want to, if it's not banned out in this phase. Something like the Ricky into the Mirana. The Mirana being really good with the Starstorm, coming up against the Nature's Prophet, being able to deal with those treants, being able to leap away from the damage from the incoming clock there as well. Long range engage sets up really nicely with the Searing Chains that come out from the Ember Spirit. It's one of those heroes that I like to see picked up when the Ember Spirit is there. So Virtus.pro, as a support, even if the Ricky does get banned out, I would still like to see VP go back for that Mirana.
That wouldn't be too bad. I mean, laning phase wise, the arrow is not going to be that that great against the Nature's Prophet, but as you mentioned, you can leap away. And when it comes to the Ember Spirit setting up for the arrow, he's pretty much great. I like both the Ricky and the Mirana. I think that would be a great approach from Virtus.pro. It really wouldn't surprise me if one move they pick up a Techies or a Hoodwink now, and then Virtus.pro just respond with the two heroes that you mentioned, because Mirana would be nice also because she naturally can build into a 4-staff, and that is most definitely an item that Virtus.pro are going to be needing on at least one of their supports.
Yeah, and with the clockwork coming through there as well with those cogs, self setup for the arrow from that clockwork has to be very careful about its position and coming through. Can deal a lot of damage. Just like I said, the arrow flying through onto those cogs, even if he does get up right on top of the Lina, could be disrupted just because of the fact that there could be an arrow available. So again, it's that hero that was picked up. It was more popular towards the start of the season, before New Year's as well. Did drop off a little bit, but does still have those niche strats that it can be picked up in. And again, really like the hero with the Ember Spirit. Meanwhile, one move, they take out the Beastmaster, they take out the Lycan as well. These two heroes shoving lanes. One move, they don't want to be contested with the push potential of the Nature's Prophet. So taking those kind of heavy creep army lane shovers away from the side of as Virtus.pro.
Yeah, two reasons they're getting rid of them. One is because they match the tower push. The other one is the vision. You want to be the gods of vision in this game. You have a clockwork, you have the Nature's Prophet. You're pushing in the waves, and you have the rocket flare to help you with vision. So Virtus.pro, obviously, they're not gonna have anything like that. They ban out the Marcy as a Lina laning support, which actually would have been amazing. Whenever you see these two in a lane, you overestimate your ability in the lane to kill the Lina because it's just not there. She gets the added lifesteal, and just with the amazing attack speed, you destroy everyone. One move, they go for the Hoodwink. So it's not gonna be the Techies, but they go for the Hoodwink. And let's see if Virtus.pro are gonna be going back for the Ricky here. I really wouldn't be surprised. Clockwork and the Hoodwink and the Nature's Prophet, they're really nice targets for the Ricky.
Yeah, and again, another way to deal with the clockwork, that if he does dive in, you've got that smoke screen that can come down immediately. Prophet, you get the sleeping dart off, and it's going to be the Tide. So, okay, so they don't really... let's see what else. So it is going to be the Mirana. But yeah, not prioritizing the Ricky here in this draft. So maybe Virtus.pro haven't really played around with the hero. Don't know if they want to be picking it up in these drafts.
Not only that, I think they prioritized the Tide Hunter rather than not prioritizing the Ricky, because they were afraid that a lot of the offlaners were gonna be taken out, especially because one move we're missing an offlaner as well, and now one move they're gonna go for a hero, which is a flex between the offlane and the mid. Though this time around, I think this is a mid lane hero. Really, you get a blink on this OD, you're gonna be catching anyone. You get on top of someone, the Nature's Prophet TP's in, and you just crush them. The Hoodwink and the OD are gonna be playing quite a lot together. And also, when it comes to the laning phase, the Ember really struggles against the OD. So this is a very nice pick for one move. Plus, later on down the line, you are a problem for the Tide Hunter or any of these tanky frontliners if he wants to be so against you. Well, he's not gonna have a nice time. And Ricky gets banned out in the end by one move. It really would have been a really nice pick there for Virtus.pro.
Yeah, so looking, I mean, the Mirana could still be flexed into the 4, but I wouldn't be surprised to see this being the 5 hero. And
It's a 4 Mirana most likely, I think, with the Tide, because Lina wants something aggressive or tanky. Mirana is neither of those. So Mirana is okay at trading, escaping, poking, right? Not that great at just running in and crushing someone. So Clockwork is taken, Undying banned out, Ricky banned out, Marcy banned out. Those are the best ones to have. Is there anything left for them to pick up for this Lina in terms of melee heroes? Like Tusk? Is Tusk in the pool? Tusk is actually in the pool. I would like a Tusk.
a position 5 Tusk?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think, and by think, I mean bring up the list of heroes to see what is left for to be picked up here on the side of what else? I mean, Virtus.pro, yeah, no, the Tusk is still available. Tusk a really popular hero. Is there anything else you think that they might look into though?
I'm trying to think about it. I wouldn't mind, a CM
Yeah.
going their way. Ogre would be cool. That's a hero that we don't see with Lina too much, but you know, I even added attack speed. Of course, it can't really measure up percentage-wise. The Bloodlust is nowhere close the Fiery Soul. But I would like the Tusk the most. I think having a BKB piercing disable is something that the Virtus.pro are missing. So that is my top choice.
Enchantress.
But I go for an Enchantress, so aggression in the lane in another sense, and a lot of right clicks coming out from one move, but still Hoodwink and the Clockwork can kill her, and I think that's the thing you have to put a we have to do it in this game for the Enchantress. Whenever she's on our side of the map, the Hoodwink needs to be there and this hero needs to die.
What do you think about the Doom here for one move? Because you are going to be building to that initiation with the Blink
like
to get
it.
yourself on top of the Lina. If you get the refresh, the double Doom on the Lina and the Ember Spirit, that takes a lot of the utility from Virtus.pro out of this game.
I like it. I actually really like the Doom. You're gonna have the Blink initiation once you find the Centaur later on. You're gonna have good vision in this game. The lanes are gonna be pushed in. Later on down the line, once you have the Doom cooldown, yeah, I'd love the Doom here. The problem is that naturally one move haven't done well with those kind of drafts. They've done better by having the fatter boys in front. Doom, I'm not saying it's squishy, but okay, so it's gonna be an off lane Nature's Prophet and a safe lane Ursa. So they're putting the emphasis on destroying the Tidehunter, and this is a really good Ursa game, right? A really, really good Ursa game, but I'm a little bit afraid for the one move lockdown potential, because once you get a 4-staff, you counter every single stun they have, every single hero they have. That is a problem for me, and both Seyush and Dukalis have really good heroes to buy a 4-staff on, because it's a Mirana and it's a Enchantress.
Yeah.
So that is what's scaring me, is that one item that they would have gotten either way just counters every single one of your heroes.
Yeah, and I think in the Eastern European region, we've seen that we can see the odds coming up from EGB here as well. So it is a little bit more even compared to what we've seen in the last series. VP slight favorites, but not massively. And guys, don't forget, if you do go to EGB, you can get yourself a free deposit, reflecting on how much you deposit yourself, a free bonus deposit there up to $600. That is available at our sponsors EGB. But yeah, I think in the Eastern European region, we've seen the Ursa, the kite potential that comes out from these teams. They know how to deal with this Ursa. So you look at what this Ursa is going to be facing up against. Like I said, I just don't know if the control from the set, if the Ursa is really going to be able to sit and right click, get the attacks off, do that damage, and really be able to stand and put out the sustained right clicks. That's I've been shown wrong before, but at the minute I just don't think the Ursa is the furry scurry that it is in every other region in the Eastern European region. I'm
gonna go for Virtus.pro. But the reason I'm doing it, yeah, the Ursa, the Clockwork, the Hoodwink, the Nature's Prophet, they all get countered by the 4-staff. The reason I'm going for Virtus.pro is because one move's lineup, it's centered around fighting in the side lanes, like creating space, going from one part of the map to another. One move so far in this tournament have done a very bad job playing the side lanes. They're usually playing around Aincrad in the mid lane, and if they're going towards the side lanes, it's on the back of this OD.
Yeah.
OD is not the greatest hero to rotate to the side lanes, but the other 4 are. So that's why I'm a little bit scared for them, because this is the types of lineups that they have been dropping balls with, right? So I just don't have faith in them as a team. I think this lineup can work, but it needs a lot of speed with moving around the map. Like you crush the lanes, you survive, the early aggression from Virtus.pro once they have the Ravage and stuff like that, by going around the map, split pushing, and never allowing Virtus.pro to get themselves a fight, and just getting pick off after pick off after pick off, from one hero to another. And one move have been, in my mind, like not that good at executing Dota in this way.
Yeah, and we'll see here. I mean, the smoke came through from the side of VP. They were looking towards that top part of the map, but it looks like they're just going to give that up. Don't want to go for the potential first blood. Even the Ember Spirit not really going in yet. The tree's going to show. The tree not going to show onto Squadix. He even takes a tower shot too. But they don't over-aggress on the side of VP. They're not going to be overextend. You can see that Gilga just standing right behind Ankrad, just in case anything comes out here. No wards on the Hoodwink. Where's it gone down? That's gone really deep down in the Radiant side of the map here, this Dire ward.
Squadix and Einkrad have been the ones that their teams rely on in terms of killing people, right? And I think that Squadix, other than the laning phase, right? That's where he will struggle. Laning stage is where one move is gonna have a really good time. Other than that, he has more options to move around the map than the OD has. At least when it comes to his hero. When it comes to setting up from the other heroes on the map, one move actually have really good heroes to set up for the OD. But it revolves around team coordination, whereas Squadix just with his own ideas can make like chaos happen on the map.
Yeah, and we'll see how this lane is going to go in the mid lane. Flick back to that to keep an eye on it. I suppose it is going to be really hard. He's trying to go for the Flame Guard, but it's going to be really hard to pick up the last hits on the range creep if these Astral Imprisonments do just carry on coming out. So Squadix at least going to be able to get one there. But yeah, the more Aincrad throws out this Astral Imprisonment, the harder that lane is going to be. Meanwhile, on the top lane, you can see that Munkushi getting harassed just a little bit. But this lane, once he gets the points into the overpower, the Fury swipes do start to stack up as well. It is going to be so much harder for the Tide to sustain in the lane. Gilga and Sayush trading off right clicks here, and Mirana did actually go for that level 1 arrow. No Starstorm to come out, but Gilga, he can't come in for the D ward. If he gets caught out there, a potential arrow, even point blank, would have been enough to get the first blood.
The idea with an arrow is to push in the wave, makes it easier for your offlaner. And because you don't want the Tide to go in a straight 1 versus the Ursa, you make sure that the Tide has more creeps, and then he can't do it because you have range creep, he does not, and then you're trading with the Hoodwink on the other side. With this decision to put the Hoodwink on top, okay, it actually does make sense. I thought it was the Hoodwink Enchantress, but yeah. So anyways, they put Gilgir on position 5 because with the Hoodwink, first of all, it's a melee and the range hero together, but also the Hoodwink actually does give some kill potential on these two because you do have that lockdown potential, and this hero does a lot of damage. People tend to underestimate that.
Yeah, mid lane, how's it looking for... I mean, Ember Spirit's sitting top of the last hit, so it looks like Ironcrad not using the... Well, he's going to use it that time to get the deny, but it seems like Squadix is just being able to find the last hits here, going for the Sleight of Fist, 2 points into that. Flame Guard coming out for him to offer him some protection in this lane. If he gets close onto Ironcrad there as well, because he does want to be coming into melee range, you know, it's not like the... Outworld Destroyer, had to think of the name, there's so many names over the time, but it's not like the OD has a lot of health that, you know, it's going to offer the protection from this Flame Guard. So every time the Spanish comes out with the Astral Imprisonment, Squadix, he still looks to close the gap, still looks to do the damage in the lane over to the OD.
You're applying pressure during the time that the OD is not high in levels. When OD is level 4 or 5, that's when things start becoming a little bit tougher for the Ember Spirit. But yeah, Squadix has outdone himself really in this mid lane. He didn't only win, he crushed Tynecrad in the first 3 minutes, and you know, you're really gonna have to put your effort into it to equalize it when the Ember has 9 denies.
Yeah, he's just picking them up left, right, and center. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, Pantherman, he's looking to... Oh, it's going to be a second lane here on the bottom lane in the jungle. So we'll see Afterlife and Ducalis moving over. Just a little bit more farm coming out from Krilliat. You know, he's going to try and get these denies so the lane doesn't push that far forward. Even the train's being summoned here. So Lina going for that 1-1-1 build at level 3. It does make sense, but would you prefer to see another couple of points? You know, going for the Fiery Souls definitely, but another couple of points here coming out into the Dragon Slave to try and deal with these treants that come out from Afterlife?
No, because it will help you in the lane, but you just want to have the Fiery Soul maxed out so that you can farm faster when the time comes. So currently, the way that Lina is being played, Dragon Slave is just on level 1 all the time. You just need the cooldown so that you can connect it into multiple creeps and get your Fiery Soul up.
Okay. Well, Pantomime at least takes down Krilliat's Courier. I think that was on the way back. A really nice deep ward there as well. So Pantomime going for the pull through, but again, Ducalis should be able to... He's not even going to try and interrupt. He might just try and get aggressive here now as well. Ducalis is level 2, holding that point in the second skill though. So nothing skilled up just yet. Just that second point into the enchant. Maybe to try and get Harassi here onto Pantomime. Pantomime already back behind that tier 1 tower with the creep wave.
Man, one move drafted to win the lanes, and they're losing the lanes. This is really a disaster. Ursa, usually on the early levels, is actually a problem for the Tide. What an arrow from Sayush, and they just finish off Gilgir. Yeah, That's really weird that one move allowed this to happen. You pick an OD into an Ember, you pick an Ursa into a Tide, and you're getting wrecked in lanes.
Yeah, oh, look at this mid lane now as well. This is the perfect time if they want to go for this. Wildwing Ripper is going to be up now as well. The Astral Imprisonment's been used down for 10 seconds, but Ironclad, he's thinking that Spidey senses are tingling, so he does move himself away. Unfortunately, Wildwing Ripper drags him back in. Squadix going to be taking a lot of damage here. He might be able to get this Enchantress with the pushback, but Squadix, he wants to come back in. Ironclad taking a lot of damage. The Impetus, he's not going to be able to get in range to throw it out. Oh, the body blocks from Gilgir, it keeps Ironclad alive, keeps him going, and only level 5 here onto Squadix, so he doesn't want to be diving in, doesn't have the remnants to dive to Decalis, wants to carry on going. Where's that pullback here? Steering Chains comes through. It's even going to be the Wildwing Ripper doing a lot of damage, but Steering Chains, not enough damage to finish the job though, only level 1 in those, so the damage, it does keep Ironclad alive. Meanwhile, top lane, Munkushi, the arrow is going to miss.
The Wildwing Ripper actually this creep right clicks quite a lot. And, you know, when you have the extra movement speed from the Enchantress enchant, it's actually a problem. They just want to go onto this OD because now is the time when he's gonna start bullying the Ember, but the college just doesn't allow it.
No, and Ironclad, he's got that salve up. The Bashful Pantomime has to TP himself in. He's going to be out of mana. There's a rotation from Sayush there as well, but there is the ward down, so they know this Mirana is here, so you can see Ironclad moving to the other part of the map. Carl's going to be taking a lot of damage. Sleight of Fist, Steering Chains comes through.
He's okay.
And he's not going to be able to get the finish off onto Bambi. We'll be able to prance away safely for now.
That's Mirana is around the mid lane, as you mentioned as well. And they did spot him with a nice ward they have there on the hill. He's not going to be able to get the D ward, but still, this is a lot of pressure being done to the OD. I think Squadix was saying, guys, I crushed him in the lane, just come over. And this is a complete disaster for one move, because they were hoping for a good laning stage, and that's part of their heroes that they're not going to be able to utilize here, just because Virtus.pro did such a great job.
Look at how far forward, even with the double damage rune here for Ironclad in the middle lane, look at how far forward Squadix drops that Remnant to try to open that opportunity to get aggressive. Okay, Enchantress has already moved himself away from this middle lane, so Squadix is going to be taking some punishment for dropping it there, but if the Decalis had hung around, your potential to go for the gank Pantomime was still there as well. Had that clarity off, so the cogs as well as the barracks still are available, but yeah, Squadix with full faith, just dropping that Remnant in the river instead of just below the tier 1 tower.
Power on the bottom lane is almost dropping for one move. This is big if Virtus.pro can do it, right? Because towers dropping for one move, it's a disaster. They need access points. Boom, boom, Minecraft gets level 6 and finishes off the Ember. Yep, you were talking about being overly aggressive and finally punished for it.
Yeah, meanwhile, the top lane, Notice is going to be chased down. Will be able to get himself away from Munkushi, though Munkushi wasn't able to close that gap. Get that last right click off that would have killed off the Tide Hunter. Tide only level 5 as well, so not picking up the Ravage just yet. But Munkushi, similarly, only level 5. So there could be some gank potential. Notice he's trying to regen up with the Tangos. The 4 Mangos here as well. Get himself back into the lane and potentially look for a gank, because Gilgir and Munkushi both really low. It looks like the mid lane, it's going to be Squadix keeping himself back in, so not looking for a rotation on the top lane, looking to get that gank off onto the Ursa. And again, the Astral comes out, but like you say, the pressure that Krillia, I thought it would have gone the other way. With the treants coming through here, Afterlife, he's still losing that. Look at the damage between the 2 towers. And they are getting close to losing this tower on the bottom lane here, one move.
Yep, they most definitely are. Mirana is going to secure a rune for the Ember. The thing now that does go in favor of one move is that Nature's Prophet is getting his level 6. The Tide Hunter dies just before it, but he's now going to be able to assist his team.
Yep, mid lane, they're going to try and make a dive onto Ironclad. Do they have enough damage to take him down? Of course they do. And now the dive, Afterlife TPs himself in, but Squadix, he wants to get aggressive. The Sprout comes out, they take down Ducalis, but Squadix, he wants to carry on going with his Flame Guard. The damage coming through from Sayush there as well. Has that Starstorm 1 second away from that. Squadix, does he actually dive himself back in? Sayush, if he'd have gone for that 2 points into the Starstorm, probably could have picked off Afterlife.
He was, you know, low on mana. He doesn't know. He can go in. He's probably not getting out. Yeah. And it is a question if you're gonna get the double Starstorm onto Afterlife. It's just not easy to do. So Sayush decides not to do it. You killed Ironclad, you lost the support, and there was a ulti from the Nature's Prophet plus the TP used, and one move don't get anything out of it. So if I'm Virtus.pro, I'm happy.
Yeah, it's still a really good trade if you're only losing. And again, Krillia, look at the pressure he's putting onto this tier 1 tower. The 3 points now into the Fiery Souls. This tower, yeah, did he get to deny? He did. Yep. But it still does mean that this is going to be an open lane now for the Lina.
The safe lane is usually the easiest tower to take for an offlaner or for the team, right? You take the enemy safe lane tower. But when you lose your tier 1, you don't have that access point that you're going to be bringing heroes around. And now it becomes increasingly difficult for one move to take towers down. And it's very important for them, considering that they have this Nature's Prophet lineup.
Yeah, mid lane, again, aggression coming out of that Flame Guard, but Pantomim, he traps himself in the cogs. He's just lucky that the impetus, it's only level 1, isn't on constant cooldown now. The Astral Imprisonment, but Squadix, you get that D-ward off now as well onto the high ground. Searing Chains comes out, but it's just the arrow a little bit too late. He was busy D-warding the ward on the high ground. But it looks like he wants to dive in. The Remnant comes through. There's going to be the Sanity's Eclipse. Not enough to finish off. Yeah. And do they have enough damage to kill off Ironclad? It looks like Sauge, he doesn't have the mana now for that Starstorm. So Ironclad hides himself in the trees. And at least they do get the kill onto Ducalis eventually. But those Nature's Attendants, the TP and Squadix, could have been in trouble. Did he go a little bit too far here? The voice back. It connects an Ember Spirit. It's not going to matter. Can't get it off in time. And he will be taken down. So Afterlife with a good rotation over to secure the kill onto 2 heroes though.
Virtus.pro are doing a good job at forcing the fights to happen around the mid lane, but they overextended because they underestimated the armor of the OD. This hero does have a lot of base armor, and that's why the Sleight of Fist of the Ember just isn't doing enough.
Yeah, and I mean, again, they had close potential to get the kill, but Mirana just short of the mana to get the Starstorm off to secure the kill. And if that arrow had connected, if he wasn't trying to de-ward the ward on the high ground, the arrow comes out half a second earlier, and they get that kill onto the OD.
Okay, one move, even though early laning stage wasn't so great, they have been able to stabilize the game, which is very important for them. And once this Hoodwink hits level 6, then you're gonna have the burst potential to just kill heroes and move a little bit faster around the map. Because when Virtus.pro lose just one hero on the map, it's increasingly difficult for them to play. That's why this level 6 on the Hoodwink is so important.
Yeah, and being able to get it off onto someone like the Tide Hunter, you get the Sharpshooter, you take away the Kraken Shell, and Tide all of a sudden becomes this big squishy watermelon that the Ursa will just be able to rip through. Not that he's not ripping through it anyway, but it just makes it that much easier to get the kill onto him.
For sure. Tide is going for a Vlad's. No, I haven't seen that for some time, but it does make sense, because Morbid Mask is so good on the Tide Hunter, and now it's actually Virtus.pro that are rotating. They know mid lane without the Nature's Prophet cannot be pushed, so if he's not there, they're not going to be defending it.
Yeah, but Munkushi will be able to get himself away from that. There's a DD in the bottom of the river, but it looks like the OD didn't spot that one out either. So Ironclad rotates up just to make sure there's no gank potential. It will... I don't think it's under vision either. It's close, but it's not being revealed here. So they just know there is a rune bot. Now, it does get pinged out by Pantomim. Nobody going to be contesting onto this, so I think he just picks it up himself here. Make sure that nobody on the side of VP does secure this rune, which would be a really big one, especially seeing if, Delina picks it up, maybe TP's top, looks for a fight with the rest of the team. Speaking of fights, Bushback, ow, hookshot comes in, they're going to be able to take down the Tide. Yeah, I mean, the Ravage, but the Astral Imprisonment will be there. Sayush gets the kill onto the Pantomim, but Noticed will fall shortly afterwards.
One thing that I didn't like how Notice played the Tide last time is that he was just being super defensive. He wasn't aggressive at all with the hero. But in this game in particular, I like what he did there. Even though, Ravage is used, you get a 1-for-1. It's not an ideal trade. At least you are the one taking the hate, and there's going to be needing a lot of time for Virtus.pro to get their BKBs, especially because they're going to be dealing with the Orchid on the Nature's Prophet. So it's much better for the Tide to be giving away his life, because these supports, they just die way too fast.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw that then on the bottom lane, but the Ember was trying to gank onto the Nature's Prophet. So the Nature's Prophet just surrounds himself with the Treants. He just body blocks away from Squadix. Squadix tries to go with a Sleight of Fist into the Searing Chains to get at the lockdown on that Searing Chains, but the Nature's Prophet still gets that TP away because the Searing Chains onto the Treants.
Only connects on 2 targets. There's 6 of them and only one of Nature's Prophet, so the odds were ever in his favor, and in the end he did live.
Yo, Clockwork, he's looking. He might go for that hook shot here. Squadix, he's dropped that Remnant South. She's going to be up onto the high ground. Slate for Searing Chains comes through. Hook, it doesn't connect. No, the miscommunication. The Astral Imprisonment comes out, and now the lockdown Pantomim. Can he get himself away from this? Will Sleight of Fist, the Remnant jump up, and Pantomim, he jumps to the wrong Remnant, and Pantomim, he gets denied. He gets denied by the neutral, but that wouldn't need to be a kill either way. Just a little bit of miscommunication from both sides that are trying to find those kills.
It happens, but the clockwork isn't gonna be too sad. He's level 6, so pretty much the death timer is the same. For people that might not know, when you get killed by creeps and you're lower than level 6, the death timer is still 26 seconds as it would be if you were level 6 now. It doesn't really matter, no gold lost, and he's gonna be completely fine. I like that Aincrad is going for a blink. They need this from him. They need the positioning tool, though. Afterlife, he would so much not want to be here now.
Yeah, this time he is going to get locked down. Searing Chains into the arrow. The trains are going to be coming back with the damage coming through. He has that orchid, but Brilliant's going to be there. Just throws out the Laguna Blade and claims the kill onto the MP.
Yep. Easy pick off, though. He actually was quite tanky there. For a second, you know, I'm looking at Squad X and the Mirana. They're not really doing enough damage to finish them off, him off. And if the Lina doesn't come there, it's actually debatable if they do get the kill.
Yeah. He did get low, but yeah, like I said, Lina just throwing out the Laguna Blade, making sure the kill was secured. Meanwhile, up on the top lane, Monkushi, he's still finding this farm. You know, he's going towards, he's got that Battle Fury at 15 minutes, so he does have that net worth, accelerator that's going to be coming out for him. And it's going to be the TP in. He might even be able to get the kill onto the Enchantress this time. Orchid does get used, and Afterlife secures the kill.
Very important. Every single time you see the Enchantress on your side of the map, as mentioned in the draft, she has to die.
Yeah.
You have the ability to do so, and if you can set up on her with the Hoodwink, that's actually perfect. So Gilgear for now has been doing a good job in this game, but I really like Virtus.pro the way that they are itemizing. Tidehunter is itemizing against the Ursa. Yule's Halberd, that's what he wants. Then you have the two supports that are going for 4 staffs. So we don't all have to get 4 staffs, even though in some of the games Tidehunter would get it, but considering that he has 2 supports that benefit from it, even though it wouldn't be good for the game, but it's good for this one, they would go for it. Then he can pick up something else that's gonna counter despair.
Yeah, but look at this clock OD. They're looking for a smoke into the right side of the map. Oh, the wards go down. Sai, she's holding off. Yeah, they might be able to get another move out of Decalis. He's in biz. Do they have the damage with the Moonlight Shadow?
They're in no man's land.
Yeah, moves himself over. The hookshot comes out onto the Ember Spirit, but it's only out of the frying pan into the literal fire here with the Ember Spirit, and it's going to be Squad X that picks up the kill.
Aincrad playing around that ward, the only reason why he survived, but the ward gets taken down, so one move, the smoke of theirs, didn't really give anything.
But this deep ward here from the side of VP, they know roughly where Aincrad is. He's in the trees. Do they want to try and make a dive? Because Munkushi's here as well. He's going to be seen on that creep wave, and it looks like they're just going to give up the gank potential here. The Mirana and the Ember Spirit. Aincrad will be able to get himself out safe.
One thing that one move aren't doing too well in this game is pushing out the side lanes, right? It's every single time you go for a smoke and the enemies can be in an aggressive position in the side lanes, it's gonna be hard for you. You need to see them if you're one move. You need to know that they're separated, and they just haven't been doing a great job at that. So I'm getting scared for them, because these kind of moves they're not gonna work.
No, and now there's going to be, again, that ward seeing through into the range. It sees Aincrad trying to farm it, but the arrow, early warning system comes out. Aincrad, does he get that TP away? Because, I mean, it was no Searing Chains being thrown out, and it looks like, again, they're on the move here. One move, they're trying to respond to this squad. Saush already moving themselves back. Pantomime, where's that hook? Do they have the vision? The smoke comes out, so they're not going to know where they are. Squad Saush do get away hookless.
Very nicely done by Virtus.pro.
They just forced a rotation,
Yeah, they just focused on the OD because they knew that there was going to be a rotation, and now we know they're running towards us while our team is doing something much greater, taking the Roche. But one move already, they're coming over. Mid lane tower, though, that is something that is going to be a problem for them coming into this fight.
I mean, the Roshan is going to go down. I don't think they get here in time. Saush, there's going to be the Invis rune as well. Noticed, he's waiting. He doesn't have any gap closers, but Pantomime, he gets locked down. The Bushwhack comes out onto the creeps. Brilliant's going to be able to take that first Aegis away from the Ursa. So important to take that away from him.
The second one is the more important, but Ursa always likes to be able to grab it there. Especially in the early stages of the game, it's a little bit easier for the dire side to control that area. Radiant can fight it, but this is just the problem with one move not taking the mid lane tower, and they have pushing heroes, and Virtus.pro being able to take down pretty much all tier 1s.
Yeah, they might be able to make something happen here. Aincrad, there's no Searing Chains after that Slide of Fist. Wasn't used onto the OD, but sorry, she's waiting in the trees. If you want to try and make a move, because Aincrad, he avoids walking into that ward spot. Nature's Prophet was trying to push out into the tier 2, defended here by the Ember Spirit, drops that Remnant, so he has a TP back into the Remnant if he wants to, as it looks like VP on the top lane, Freljak looking to apply pressure to the tier 2 themselves.
He has an Aegis and a BKB, and one move are gonna think twice before going for this one. But they're coming over. They really want this.
Push up the hook shot onto a creep. It gets the block off, and Krillyak can just move himself away. That's not the...
Also, they took down the tree. They took down the tree with the Tidehunter. I don't know if you saw that one. He took down the tree with the Quelling Blade, the one with the Bushwhacker. That's another reason why the Lina wasn't stunned for longer. Now the 4 staffs are there. It's gonna be even easier for Virtus.pro to protect the Lina in these situations.
Yeah, they're going to be able to get another engage off this time onto Dakalis. Dakalis looking to try and get that D-Ward through. And doesn't have the Nature's Attendants. 4 points in those Nature's Attendants, so he wants that survivability, wants that regen for his entire team.
Virtus.pro have been doing a great job at dealing with the lanes. It's Squadex and Sayush getting a lot of hate towards themselves and surviving most of the times in these rotations. That is what's kind of stopping one move from dealing with the side lanes.
Yeah, Gilga was able... He gets the bushwhack off onto the Mirana there as well, but just uses the sharpshooter, even with the Searing Chains going, to get out of that arrow path. And while this is going on, Krillyak just continues to push out this tier 2, and it doesn't look like one move they're in any comfortable position to contest this. Afterlife on the bottom lane, trying to use these trees to push out onto a tier 2 of their own. Does anyone come back to defend this, or are they more than happy? Yeah, it's going to be Krillyak. He comes back again. LSA's Dragon Slaves to try and farm up onto these treants as well. Some extra gold here for this Lina, who is top in the net worth chart.
He has an Aegis and he has the Boots of Travel. Plus, currently, the burst potential from one move onto a BKB target, it's not there, because the Ursa doesn't have a blink and Afterlife doesn't have a life, I guess. That's very unfortunate.
He's, straight up dead. He was trying to get cheeky. I think he actually got spotted out by the courier of Mirana here, which is why, because I'm not seeing any wards.
Maybe they were just going for farming there.
Yeah, Ironcrad at least gets the kill on Dakalis, drops the Sanity's Eclipse to claim that.
You just cannot allow her to be on your side of the map. That's the case. It's way too much vision for Virtus.pro. It's bad enough with the Mirana and the Emperor in your face. You cannot allow this one to be there as well. But it just goes to show when you're using the Sanity's Eclipse in what kind of situation one move are currently, and it all comes down to the side lanes. As long as the side lanes is being pushed in, it's a problem. That's why this Enchantress is working out so well. It's not only the hero itself, but you know, you find a Dark Troll summoner and the skeleton army just easily deals with the waves.
Yeah. And yeah, being able to apply pressure from that support position, really effective here. Again, at countering what the Nature's Prophet can do. Squadex, he gets himself the Arcane Rune. There is going to be the Nature's Prophet on the bottom lane, but it doesn't look like that's what VP want to target here with the smoke rotation. In fact, Krillyak, he might just go back to pushing out this lane. And it looks like, yeah, he is just going to go back and applying pressure, maybe trying to force one move to rotate to defend their own towers, as the Ursa really doesn't want to be doing that at the minute. He's got that BKB, but he's about 500 gold away from the blink, and he doesn't want to give up a death and delay that blink even longer.
Even the blink, I think, is not going to be enough. He needs a basher in this game as well, because you need chaotic fights for one move, where it's not like concentrated fight onto a one hero, and you need to be picking people off. Your Clockwork giving you vision, you see someone isolating themselves, and you jump in and you rip them apart. That's how you need to be approaching it with Ursa. So blink isn't going to cut it.
Mid lane, there is going to be the Astral Imprisonment onto Notice, but it looks like Pantomime, does he get himself away from this Moonlight Shadow? He gets caught, the arrow will connect. He was trying to go for the hook away, but he does just get caught out and killed off.
This pick-off potential for Virtus.pro is just hurting one move so much. They're not dealing with it properly, and this is the last outer tower. You are the ones that should be pushing. You are the ones that need to be applying pressure, and the ones taking down all the towers are Virtus.pro.
Yeah, Lina, the Aegis is going to expire, so back to full health, full mana, has that extra item slot here as well. And do they try and fight into this? The smoke's going to be coming out from one move. Do they make that move? Krillyak pops that BKB. It's going to be coming out pretty early on, and it does mean that, you know, he's not going to be able to fight now. He doesn't want to give himself up any deaths because of using that early BKB, just using it to back up with the rest of his team.
He understands the dangers of being caught right there and then. The Emperor did have a Remnant back, but not in a good position to fight. He understood, okay, this is a bad spot. The lanes are out-pushed. The enemies aren't going to be able to do anything on the back of my BKB being on cooldown. Just pop it and get out. So, nice call for them, but still, it's a win from one move either way, because the 9-second BKB is gone.
Yeah, going to be on cooldown now for the next, 50 seconds as well. So, really nice opening where one move can feel a little bit more comfortable to find the farm in the triangle. You know, you don't think they're going to be aggressed on. The Blink Dagger's out now for the Ursa, moving towards that Basher, so it is an item that he wants to be picking up in the near future. Roche going to be the big man at least 2 minutes away here before he's back on the map, so Munkushi might have the timing with this Basher that once Roshan's back up, they could look to engage on the side of one move and then secure that objective.
And one move really made a big blunder here. I don't know if you noticed, but the Nature's Prophet was constantly pushing in the bottom lane. But as he was doing that, there was a Dark Troll Summoner that was cutting the wave in the bottom lane. So, effectively, the Nature's Prophet wasn't doing anything. And now one move are going for a smoke, but the one that will be easily read just because of the positioning of the lanes.
Yeah, and you can see that, again, Afterlife, like you say, he's trying to do his best to push out this lane, so it's going to be it's a 3-man smoke, and Aincrad, they're trying to play around this vision that they've got on the cliff as well, but you can see that VP, they're sticking together, only Tukalis missing from this, and VP, now the Moonlight Shadow, they're going to try and re-engage. There is going to be the sentry down, but no actual vision, I don't think, from the side of one. This spot for the hook shot. It comes in. Is this going to be the fight they need to take this Trillion? He's already got that BKB going. Antonin going to be taking a lot of damage inside the trees now as well, but the Sprout comes out. Nature's Prophet rotates over to get the kill onto the clock. Sharpshooter. It doesn't connect onto Notice. It doesn't get the kill.
Oh man, that was so close to being a disaster for Virtus.pro. I think if Notice dies, then one move can commit. But considering that the Tide survived, they understand that the Ravage could be an issue. So he is going for a 4-staff on the Tide. I have to say I like the Halberd, but I'm guessing he saw the build on the OD. He saw the Aghanim Scepter and was like, okay, the 4-staff, it's better. I need to have longer range of initiation, more chances of getting myself out, because this guy, it's not about disarming him. It's about making sure that I get on top of him.
Speaking about getting on top of him, he's asked to go for a blink where there was a Squadix so close by that, you know, if they're throwing out those Searing Chains, would have got the lockdown there onto the Ursa. Ursa, again, Munkushi, spidey senses start to tingle, moves himself back. Meanwhile, Aincrad, how's he looking in terms of items? He has the Ag Scepter up, he has that Blink Dagger now, he wants to get the shard into the BKB. But win probability going VP, 71% in favor of VP in this first game.
Yeah, understandable, really, because one move, they only have one outer tower, and mid lane is not the one that you mount up a fight around. And that is what one move need. They need an area that they control for a fight, because you need to have more vision and more approaches to the fight. If it's just a straight up initiation where Virtus.pro sees you, jump in with the Ravage, kill 2 of your heroes, it's over.
Well, the Bushwhack comes out, it's actually going to be the 4-staff forward here, but the self-cliff comes out here onto Dekalis. Dekalis doing it to, you know, he's going to be able to get some D-wards off. 4-staff's down to the low ground now as well. But yeah, the Sharpshooter coming through. Even Pantomime throwing out the hook there. If it had hit that hook, he would have been in the middle of 4 heroes on the side of VP. Another Bushwhack onto the Mirana. Mirana going to be taking some damage.
Okay, this is much better for one move. Poke, go back, and when you're doing that, then the lanes are going in your favor. At some point, you are going to be catching Virtus.pro off guard if you continue to approach this way. This is finally, after like 27 minutes of gameplay, one move have gotten the lanes in a position that they should be feeling comfortable getting into an engagement.
Yeah, and Afterlife, he's going to be going for the AC, still pushing out this bottom lane. Like you say, just looking to, he knows he doesn't need to be with his team the entire time because he has that teleport in. So he's just trying to do his best. Squadix is on the bottom lane now as well. Does he want to try and get the kill off? He doesn't. He just wants to be putting the fear of God into Afterlife.
Afterlife is stronger though, you know, so if I was December, I wouldn't want to be fighting the Nature's Prophet. You're going to be losing that one for sure.
Yeah, but the D-wards are coming through this gem as well onto the Ember Spirit. Maybe, you know, Afterlife, I'm not sure where the rest of VP are. So, I mean, I'd be a little bit worried if the Sleight of Fist Searing Chains comes out that, oh, is the TP's coming in? You know, do I need to back myself away? But Nature's Prophet, for the most part, Afterlife playing it cool here in this bottom lane.
Finally, one move they've gotten themselves in a position when they're nice in this game, and Ursa finally has the Basher. So Virtus.pro, they're done with this. Just they want to go forward. Ursa is in trouble.
gets away from the silence. These eclipse. The force staff comes out from Sage, but Krilliat, that's his BKB being popped. Yeah, there's with the Wrath of Nature coming through. Did he have enough to get the kill into Krilliat? Krilliat, he just has to move himself out, and the bullwhip as well for Tidehunter. He has to TP himself away. But again, this is going to be perfect timing. 14 seconds until Roshan is back up. He forced out the BKB. They want to go for more Munkushi. He gets the blink away. Do they have the damage? They're going to be able to take down part of them. And now the Hoodwink. He's the next one to fall. The bullwhip to slow down Afterlife. He has to pop that BKB. Does he want to go for the TP away? He's just going to be moving himself out. God, Castle Curse immediately popped there. Perfect timing for one move as the big man comes back up in his pit. But all of a sudden, notice he turns himself around with this cliff ward. Perfect vision to get the Ravage, and only Munkushi able to dodge it off with the blink. Did he get killed on full support speed?
Man, that was so close to it being a disaster for Virtus.pro, because when that Sanity's Eclipse was dropped, if the Lina dies, that's Roche for one move, but now it's a disaster on the other way around, because after that Ravage, Munkushi, he used his BKB, and they couldn't fight the Roche. If he had his BKB, that would have been a good position for one move to buy back and come back into it, defend the Roche, get the second Roche for Gears, and now your timing has been delayed severely if you're one move.
Yeah, bottom lane. Oh, Lemnia comes out. He pops that Enrage, trying to get himself away. Doesn't have
Being
BKB for
chased.
the next 12 seconds, but the Yule Scepter comes in, tied into the arrow. It's not going to connect onto him. Laguna Blade.
Nothing connects.
Munkushi, can he get himself away from this? The Afterlight comes through from Aincrad, so he is going to be able to slowly move himself away. But yeah, there's going to be a leap in. He pops that BKB going for the TP. Nothing to disrupt this here. And at least Munkushi, it's going to cost him his BKB, but he will be able to get himself out. Doesn't get... Well, he did get caught out, but had the tools to get himself away from danger.
Very crappy spell usage there, both the arrow and the LSA missing on the Yule target. I guess Lina with the Yules hasn't been played for a long time, so you are you're not really used to it. But if Krilliat had connected that stun, even on an enraged target, it would have been a disaster for Dirsa.
Yeah, meanwhile, Squadix, he's going to roast some squirrel. He's going to get a kill over onto Gilgy. The Fire Remnant with the Aghanim Shard there as well. The upgrade on that, the damage coming through, just easily gets the kill onto the Hoodwink.
So 6k gold lead. Aegis on the Lina. Earlier we saw that the Lina can be bursted down, but with the Aegis you're gonna get too deep. And I think Virtus.pro just want to go forward. The team fight from one move just isn't there. Even with the Ravage being down, you have to cut the waves. And you can see what Afterlife is doing. So it's the job of the Ember, it's the job of the Mirana to prevent this. But for now, at least there are some creeps. So they'll be getting the tier 3 down. And there are creeps on the bottom lane as well.
Yeah, they can move down if they want to as well. And Krilliat, he does have the Hurricane Pike out. So if the Ursa gets right on top of him, you know, he is going to be able to pop that. If he doesn't get first hit bashed, he's going to be able to force back his Ursa and throw out so much right-click damage. The hook shot comes through. Did he have the lockdown here now as well? Notice has a Ravage, but the BKBs are out. The arrow this time, it does connect onto the Ursa. He's going to be diving from Squadix now as well. Notice he's just trying to play around these BKBs. Look to it, as Squadix taking a lot of damage.
Link Ravager is ready.
Astral Imprisonment comes out now as well. They have the lockdown. Searing Chains. Pantomime is going to be a little bit longer for him. No Enrage for the Clockwork. But the Astral, it does keep Krilliat, even through the Gleipnir, from getting the kill onto the OD, from getting the kill onto the Nature's Prophet. And Afterlife just goes back to try and split this wave in the mid lane.
One move, that is a very good back. Very good read of the situation. We don't have our BKBs. We didn't kill the Tide. He has the Blink. He has the Ravage. They're going to destroy us and they get themselves out. But the thing is, you still use your BKBs. And there is still a Ravage, even with you backing out. Even if you're on the high ground, this Lina, she's not going to stop.
Yeah, look at this. Squadix, he just stalks out onto the Nature's Prophet. And even with the silence coming through, he'd already have that Remnant down. The burst down to the jump too. And now the Ravage comes through. Aincrad's going to be able to get the Astral on himself. The Gleipnir's going to be there. The hookshot comes out into Pantomime. He wants to get in on this. The arrow, the damage though, they get the kill. And now Silence Eclipse gets dropped. So they get the kill onto the cars, but Krilliat, he wants to carry on going. That ages for another minute and a bit. And now the Silence has been used. Does he? No, the Dragon Slave doesn't connect. The blink away from Aincrad through that Astral Imprisonment. He was moving himself away, but Krilliat, he just wants to carry on going. Again, ages a minute and a half. Squadix, yeah, what can they do here? One move to defend this.
Well, Virtus.pro don't have resources. They use the Ravage and they're all very low. So I think for now, one move have defended against the Aegis. During the duration of it, Virtus.pro really won't be able to mount a full-scale attack. So at least that is going their way. But now it has come to a point where the Ember can't kill the Nature's Prophet like that solo. Obviously, he wasn't full on resources, didn't have a BKB, stuff like that. But he can force out the BKB, and that is a problem. So that means the split push from the Nature's Prophet is not going to be as effective as it was. And it's going to be even worse once Squad gets the Zaghanim Scepter. So slowly but surely, Virtus.pro are now itemizing to deal with the split push that they have been dealing with for the majority of this game.
Yeah, and look at this. Saush immediately gets that D1 off Gilga. That was the fresh sentry there, but Saush with the vision already up to this. Not good because he knew for the jump in it was only Gilga. Does he want to throw out an arrow or something? Ironcrad. Squadix might actually get the dive in. Gonna be the blink away from Ironcrad. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Corellia, he's just going to be fine pushing out. He's got the boots of travel. You know, if he needs to get close to a fight breaking out, he can get there with the boots. And VP looks so comfortable playing the buddy system here, not grouping up as 5, but just playing 2 2s and a 1, just taking what they can from this map.
They have the speed necessary to get close to each other, and they know that one more are afraid of a big full-scale team fight onto enemy vision. So that's why they can move around the map in groups. But one move, they're waiting on their vision. They want to fight.
Yeah, they get to jump onto Notice. Notice doesn't have that Ravage for the next 20 seconds. So it looks like the force up to Kala's going to be taking a lot of damage. He will be taken down. Yule Scepter, it looks like the arrow will connect. But now VP, yeah, after imprisonment comes out from Ironcrad just to keep Ursa from being engaged on. But VP, they've already lost one. They don't want to overcommit there. Again, no Ravage. It is only just coming back up. So the tools to take a fight weren't there. And VP sensibly backed themselves away. But really nice pick there just to get the kill onto the edge from one move.
Yeah, very nice ward to make it happen as well. The ward was the thing that set it all up. They placed it in a perfect position and they waited. Ideally, they wanted the tide, but then as soon as they saw that the tide broken, got 2 4 staffs, now you know that you can kill someone else. So very nice call coming out from one move. And I really have to praise Ironcrad's positioning in this game. It's not about getting in and doing the damage. This OD, he's a save. He needs to make sure that his teammates stay alive after these kind of pickoffs.
Yeah, meanwhile, Lina gonna be 400-ish gold away from picking up the full Satanic, and Notice going towards that Hex as well. The Hex is gonna be a little bit further away for Notice, but again, extra control coming through against the Ursa. You just, the longer you can delay onto what the Ursa can do, you know, you tease out the BKB and then you go back in and you Hex him, you Yules him, you just keep him controlled while the rest of the team rips through the fight. And Munkushi, even with the double damage in here, it doesn't look like one move. They don't want to be looking for an engagement. It's actually going to be VP with the smoke trying to chase down onto one move.
They want to get that one kill so that they alleviate the pressure of the map. That's how you do it now. If you're Virtus.pro, they have a gem as well for quite some time. And when you kill that one hero and one move gets pushed back, you push in the lanes, you devoid the map. And that's how you gain the advantage. So that's what they're looking for. But it's not about getting that big team fight, because you don't know where the OD is, and it's dangerous going in for the Ravage. If you use the Ravage, people get saved. It's not gonna be easy. You have better team fight, but only while that spell is up.
Yeah, and bottom lane, yeah, you can see them moving around his fall. They're just letting Afterlife do what he can to protect. He's got that AC going towards the Satanic of his own. Meanwhile, Corellia, how's he looking? I mean, he's picked it up now. He's got that Satanic. He's going to go back for a Hex himself. And I assume that's going to be a bot 2 coming up for the Lina here as well.
Are scanning.
Yeah, looks like it. He's thinking about it, I guess.
He might just want another boot of travel for his second foot. You know, 2 foots on the Lina, 2 boots needed.
Otherwise, she flies. She doesn't even need a single one. That's
So what? She's just using it as a hat?
No, she's using it as a TP, you know, as a portal key. You remember Harry Potter portal key? Like,
True.
It's an old boot, you know, so it does make sense. Anyways, I'm looking at one move. They're still doing a solid job, but Virtus.pro, now they're taking it slowly. When all their heroes are alive, man, how can you allow these creeps of the Enchantress to just bully you this much? One move, this is gonna be so easy to read through the smoke, because every single lane is in your face. Like, you have a Nature's Prophet, you have to kill those Enchantress creeps immediately.
Yeah, Gilga, he's going to be the furthest one forward here. Maybe trying to bait something out. Ducalis, the hookshot does come through. They're going to be able to get the kill into the Enchantress. Oh, these are 4 staff out. And now they turn it around onto Pantomime. Ducalis, the shot to come through to the edge with the healing from the Nation's Attendants. He's going to be back to full health.
Oh, the cogs. They isolated the Ursa from the Enchantress. That was a kill. Ursa was swiping for the last hit, and then the cogs come out, and the Ursa gets pushed out, and the Kale stays inside of them, so you don't get the kill. And when it's a 4 versus 5 in this game, no one really wants to engage, so the third Roche is gone as well, and this is a double Ravage. So Virtus.pro, they can pretty much get away with anything right now. This was a disaster for one move, the way that it was executed, but it was actually a very, very nice idea. Unfortunately for them, they were behind. It was hard to get that kill. One slight mistake, it cost you that kill, and now it probably cost you the game.
They actually give the refresher shard over to Squadix. He's got that Aghanim Scepter, so he's got the... Is it the 6 charges? 5 charges on the remnants? Yeah, so... He's going to have 10 coming through, yeah, and this is just going to be, if he drops these all around the base, you watch the Emperor like a pinball diving left, right, and center in these fights. It's going to be so hard to lock him down, but the amount of damage, because the shard is there as well, this Emperor, he's going to be so deadly coming into the next fight.
That's the idea, create chaos. Oh, the self-astral.
Yeah, he gets that BKB off for the Lotus. So if you have to engage, Slider Fist here in chains. He's dropping a remnant there as well. The Gluttony to damage that squirrel is going to be absolutely roasted because of that remnant damage there as well. Quilliat with the extra knockdown. Afterlife comes in with the BKB. The 4-step away now. That's going to be the hook shot on Quilliat. Out of dodge, out of danger, out of trouble there. And one move. How did he follow up now?
Very hard. I understand what the Emperor wants to do. He wants to go in, create chaos, and then when one move, they're not ready, they're going to be going in. But here's the jumps.
Yeah, there's going to be another 4-step away onto Quilliat. You'll Scepter now as well onto the Ursa. The arrow does connect. He was still in range, but there's going to be a really good Ravage. He's going to be dead. 80 seconds, no buyback. Afterlife trying to do what he can with that Satanic Trance to stay through the damage. But Quilliat, all the entire team over and just do too much. And the Satanic not going to be that effective now. And again, 2 heroes dead for 68 seconds. Perfect timer on Synchronize between those 2 heroes, but it will cost them a lot of their base.
Ursa didn't want to pop the BKB. He got arrowed during the enrage, and he's like, this is going to go through, but his enrage was ending, and then the Ravage comes out during that literally mini-stun of the arrow, and that's gonna lose them the game. I understand it. You have a 6-second BKB, and you have the Astral Imprisonment to save you, but OD, with his BKB being used there with the self-Yules, self-Astral, it all started with that Lotus Orb. He had to BKB early. Now he doesn't have it to save his Ursa, and with that, the game is over.
Yeah, the dive in, the second Ravage did come through, so he did actually patch over the Refresher Shard. And this is going to be the death of the Odie. Even Quilliat trying to chase down through the Astral Imprisonment, but he's got no way to get away from the right-click damage here. The hookshot comes through. 40 blocks from Noticed, and one by one they get hunted down. Only the Hoodwink remains. And it's going to be Mega Creeps. It is going to be, 15 seconds between these 2 cores coming back up. One more damage can Lina do. The Sharpshooter comes through, but he's still got the Aegis. And Hoodwink has to go all the way back to the fountain. And this is just going to be VP taking over the Dire base. Megas into tier 4s.
I like that he gave him the refresher there in the end. Okay, you proved yourself. That was a very good Ravage, so you can have it. Squadix, he finally lets it go, and with the second Ravage, the game is over.
Yeah, you can see that one move they're holding on. They're trying to get something, maybe turn it out. But Quilliat, he's too bothered about hitting the towers. Munkushi's going to be coming through. The BKB was off, and the Enrage will be going here as well. They turn on to Afterlife. Afterlife being chased back. They get the kill into Munkushi. Another hook for Phantom. He traps himself in the cogs. Again, trying to create that barrier. It just tunes himself into his own death. And Afterlife, GG gets called. VP, 21-11 at 42 minutes. Take game number 1 up against one move.
Very clean game from VP. I really have to praise them the way that they dealt with the split push, not directly by running towards the heroes, but taking an area, and from that area you have a creep from the Enchantress that is cutting the waves, and you have the Mirana and the Ember combo that is going around the map and forcing rotations from one move. And with that being done, you are controlling the mid lane constantly because you're controlling that area, you're the stronger team. And eventually you're pushing in, and you're not allowing one move to make a play. They also itemized quite nicely. Went for a couple of 4 staffs, a couple of Yule Scepters just to counter the Ursa. They knew this hero could be a problem somewhere down the line. And Virtus.pro, they just set themselves up for success.
Yeah, and again, I said in the draft, but the Eastern European teams seem to know how to play around the Ursa. They know the amount of control they need to dedicate to this hero, and they're doing it so well. There's been a couple of successful Ursas, but I think for the most part, the Ursas that we've seen, they've been manhandled by the other team when they do come out in the Eastern European region.
Yeah, they do. Out of the laning stage in item choices, they know exactly how to play against the hero, and that's it. Like the Lina, the Ursa has been overused as well, and people are finding more and more ways to play around it. They've gotten used to the damage. They know just what they can get away with, even though. You can say the same with playing the Ursa. You have played every single game. You know how to play it, how exactly to deal with any kind of counter. But in this game, the problem was that the laning phase went bad for Munkushi, so he was never ahead. He never really hit the timing when he was gonna smack down everyone. And finally, when his time had come, Pantomime makes that slight mistake with the cogs, and you don't even get the kill. The perfect start of the fight, to be honest, there from one move. So I guess it is what it is. But Virtus.pro, they deserve the victory here. They kind of systematically took away everything from one move, from the bottom tier 1 being taken down early, to the way they controlled the map, to the way that they forced rotations, to the way they dealt with the split push, and then with the way that they dealt with Ursa with their itemization. So just a very nice game overall, and they deserve the victory.
Yeah, and we are going to be going to a break, but we're going to be back with the second game here, guys. One move, we saw how beastly they were in the second game up against BetBoom yesterday, but before we get to that, we are going to be going to a break, so we'll see you after this.